Imagine waking up in a world where electricity doesn't exist. News doesn't travel faster than a horse. And your fate is tied to the soil beneath your feet. The year is 1348. England is in the heart of the Middle Ages. You're not a knight. You're not a lord. You're a peasant, one of millions who live and die in the fields. Unknown to history, but essential to the world's survival. Every loaf of bread, every castle feast, every lord's banquet starts with your hands. Today, we'll walk through a full day of your life, but not just the surface. We'll step into your morning routine, daily labor, religious rituals, community roles, health and hygiene, and even your dreams, fears, and hopes. This is a raw, unfiltered look at what it truly meant to be a medieval peasant. You wake up in near darkness. There are no blinds or curtains, just wooden shutters and thin fabric that barely keeps the cold out. Your entire family sleeps in the same room, straw mattresses line the floor, and the faint smoke from last night's fire lingers like a ghost. You rise before the sun, not because you want to, but because you must. There's no sleeping in on a feudal farm. The rooster's cry is your alarm, and the Lord's land doesn't wait. You shake the frost from your hair, pull on the same rough wool clothes you wore yesterday, and every day before that. Breakfast is simple. Stale bread dipped in warm ale, maybe a spoon of porridge if you've saved enough grain. There's no sugar, no butter, no tea. But food isn't about flavor, it's about fuel. Before heading to the fields, there's work to be done at home. The animals need feeding. The chickens, pigs, and goats are vital for survival. A few eggs a week can mean the difference between hunger and health. Water must be carried from the village well, often several times a day. Firewood must be gathered and chopped. Even small children contribute. They're expected to fetch water, watch animals, or help prepare meals. Everyone works. There's no such thing as a day off. Inside the hut, your spouse tends to a small hearth, keeping it alive through the morning. If it goes out, relighting it can take hours. The air is heavy with smoke, but the fire is life. When the sun finally rises, the real work begins. The fields stretch endlessly, and they don't belong to you. They belong to the lord of the manor. You are bound to this land through a system called feudalism, a hierarchy where nobles own land, knights protect it, and peasants work it. Your tasks depend on the season. In spring, you plow and plant. In summer, you weed and water. In autumn, you harvest. In winter, you repair, prepare, and survive. There are no machines, just muscle, wooden tools, and patience. The oxen are slow and stubborn. Your hands blister around the handles of the plow. Mud sticks to your boots. The sun climbs higher, burning the mist away, and sweat rolls down your back. By midday, you pause for your second meal. Bread, maybe a little cheese, sometimes onions or cabbage. Rarely meat. Your energy is spent, but there's still more work to do. As the bell rings from the church tower, you stop for prayer. Religion is not a part of life, it is life. The church dictates when you work, when you rest, when you fast, and when you feast. Mass isn't optional. You may not understand the Latin the priest speaks, but the rituals are familiar. They offer comfort in a world where little else is certain. If the crops fail, it's God's will. If a child dies, it's God's will. Faith explains everything science cannot. The church is also a place of power. It owns land, collects tithes, and influences the Lord himself. For a peasant, it's both a source of hope and a reminder of your place in the world. The village is more than just huts and fields. It's a small, tightly woven community. Everyone knows each other. Your neighbors are also your co-workers, your emergency help, and sometimes your competition. Roles are clear. Men work the fields and maintain tools. Women manage the home, gather food, spin wool, and care for children. Children begin working as soon as they're able. Elders tell stories, pass down knowledge, and help where they can. There's no privacy in this world. Life is public. A birth, a marriage, a fight, or a death. Everyone sees everything. Your meals are simple, repetitive, and plain. Bread, pottage, a thick vegetable stew, and ale are staples. Meat is rare and usually reserved for feast days. If you're lucky, you might have eggs or a bit of fish. Preservation is a daily concern. There are no refrigerators. Salt, smoking, and drying are the only ways to keep food from spoiling. A bad harvest means hunger. A harsh winter means people will starve. Feasts are rare, but when they happen, during religious festivals or good harvests, they're unforgettable. Music, dancing, meat, and laughter fill the air. But for most of the year, food is survival, not celebration. If you get sick, there's little help. Medicine is based on superstition, herbs, and guesswork. Doctors are for nobles, not peasants. Instead, the village relies on wise women, herbal remedies, and prayer. Bathing is rare. Most peasants wash only their hands and face, sometimes feet. Full baths are reserved for special occasions or the nearby river in summer. Disease spreads easily, and without antibiotics or sanitation. Even a small wound can be deadly. And in this year, 1348, something darker approaches. Whispers of the Black Death are beginning to reach the countryside, a plague that will change everything. As the sky turns gold and then fades to black, you return home exhausted. Dinner is whatever is left from the day. The fire warms the hut as your family sits close. There are no lamps, no electricity, only flame and silence. Children drift off to sleep early, huddled together for warmth. The adults talk quietly about the harvest, rumors, maybe even dreams of something better. Outside, the village grows quiet except for the wind. Your life is short, hard, and defined by forces far beyond your control. You are part of a system designed to keep lords powerful and peasants working. But without you, it all collapses. Every wall of every castle was built on your labor. Every banquet depended on your harvest. Every kingdom survived on your sweat. History rarely writes your name, but it's built on your back. You've just lived one full day in the life of a medieval peasant. But behind this single day are years of resilience, quiet strength, and unseen sacrifice. If you enjoyed this historical life simulation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more immersive journeys into the past. In our next episode, we'll step into the sandals of a Roman soldier marching across the empire.